Coming up on Thunder Insider, playoff matchups heat up with just days remaining in the regular season. We'll take a look at the league standings and possible postseason showdowns. Plus, we'll also break down how last year's playoff experience has prepared the Thunder for its third trip to the postseason. And an aspiring reporter got a chance of a lifetime thanks to the Thunder. See what happens when Jensen Dyer takes the mic and goes behind the scenes on game night.
Paparazzi. I like that tie though, man.
Thanks.
It's pretty hot.
We've got all that and Steely worked out with the Thunder Girls. That's something you won't want to miss.
These girls work out at least 2 times a week, 30 minutes of strength and cardio training. Now, 30 minutes may not sound like a whole lot, but believe me, this is very, very tough stuff.
Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Kroll, your host, coming to you from inside our Oklahoman studio. The Thunder, of course, is in the midst of their final road trip of the regular season. 5 games in 9 days, and Sacramento is the second to the last stop, and that is where Brian Davis and Grant Long are joining us now via Skype. Well, guys, thanks for joining us and being here with us. Just a handful of games left for the Thunder before the playoffs begin. We know in the postseason it's not all about your star power. Sometimes it's the role players who really shine as the pressure rises. Who or what combination do you see making that impact for the Thunder?
Well, Kelly, after watching James Harden drop 40 on the Phoenix Suns, he's one obvious suspect. And one of the things, that having James, even though you have a big 3 core of scorers, when you have that extra guy who can score at volume like James has been doing this season, makes the team that much more dangerous, doesn't it?
It does, but here's the thing. When you talk about role players in the playoffs, they can only do what these superstar players allow them to do, meaning that Russell, along with KD, even Harden in the second group to a large degree, if they decide to move the ball very quickly, that will give the role players an opportunity to have success. It won't be a matter of which guys step up. It'll be a matter of who's going to get those passes, who's going to get those quick passes. When you see a guy like Westbrook or Durant get double teamed, it might be Collins, it could be Nazr Mohammed, it could also be Perkins or Ibaka, but the ball has to move quickly, and depending on that situation or that scenario in that possession, that's who will have that success. So it's a matter of how quickly Durant, Westbrook, in that first unit read the double teams and how the defenses are playing them, and in that second group, how quickly Harden reads the pick and roll defense or how they're playing him, because they're going to force him to give it up. He's going to have to make a quick decision on who he passes the ball to.
Well, you also look at the way the Thunder's been building up here to the postseason, and from time to time you'll see an effort to get players like Derek Fisher more involved. Thabo Sefolosha is a guy who comes to mind. Scott Brooks says that he is one of our best cutters, period. Sefolosha, when he was playing in Europe, showed the ability to score at some volume, and Sefolosha might be another sort of B-list option for the Thunder in the offense.
One of the guys I know Grant mentioned just then, Serge Ibaka. We saw a huge third quarter performance from him the other night against the Clippers, 12 points and 7 rebounds from the power forward. How critical will it be, guys, to see that intensity from Serge here on out?
I think that was a huge moment for Ibaka because it was the first time really that we have seen him step up and say, come on, boys, follow me, when the rest of the team was struggling. I think that may be, Grant, I'd even call it a coming-of-age moment.
I think also you mentioned first-time thing. This is the first time that Serge had to play under any type of duress. He had to sit out primarily the first half due to foul trouble. So to have him come back and still remain focused, talk about a guy that's maturing right in front of our eyes. I thought that was a big moment for him, a big step forward in this process of continuing to grow as a player. He's going to be one of those other players, again, when you talk about making the quick reads, he'll have to get himself open when Durant and company receive those double teams for the playoffs.
12 points and 7 rebounds in that big stretch against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Somebody asked me the other day, guys, about Oklahoma City's bench. And after James Harden, I said to them, well, it's not really a scoring bench, but one of the things that you've got to look at with the Thunder is the quality of the dirty work that comes in reserve for this ball club. And I'm talking specifically about guys that you've already mentioned, Nick Collison and Nazr Mohammed, because those guys will come in and do things other than score that are just as a great value to this team.
talk about Nick Collison and also Nazr Mohammed. These are guys that will have to make a quick decision during the latter part of the season and during the playoffs as well. And what I mean by that is you have to be an outlet passer. You don't want to be a guy standing on the perimeter if that's not where you're comfortable shooting the ball. You got to get into an attack area when the defense starts to double team your main guys like Durant, Westbrook, and Harden. Nazi's also going to have to get to that top of the key or free throw line area. You have to take advantage of that. You cannot be on the perimeter. That doesn't put pressure on the defense. You've got to get to that inside lane area, receive that pass, and make the defense collapse when make them pay for double teaming those other guys.
And not to be lost, Kelly, is the value that Collison brings when he and Harden play that two-man game. I'd love to know exactly how many scoring screens Nick has set during the course of this regular season. We'll leave you with this. The San Antonio Ball Club was staying here in the hotel in Sacramento. We sort of passed their leaving. We're on our way in, and I ran into a buddy of mine. And, you know, we're talking about now these two teams are going to be the top two seeds in the West. And we both just stood there kind of grinning at each other because really now we're getting to the fun part of the season when the serious money is on the table. And I cannot wait to get there.
Absolutely. VD Grant, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the trip. Coming up on Thunder Insider, there's still a lot to be played out in order to clear up the playoff picture. Grant Long and Matt Pinto chime in on the standings when we come back.
Jump pass low to Durant. Up quick for the right hand slam dunk.
Gear up for Thunder basketball at NBAThundershop.com. The Thunder Shop is the official team store of your Oklahoma City Thunder.
Erased inside by Perkins. That's great basketball.
Stocked with all of the current on-court authentic apparel, fan memorabilia, and collectibles for fans of all ages. Declare your loyalty for Thunder basketball at NBAThundershop.com.
I'm Thabo Sefolosha. You're watching Thunder Insider.
With the regular season winding down, the playoff picture is still far from set. All the more reason to welcome in the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto, along with Grant Long to help clear up some of the postseason madness. Let's have some fun here, guys. Play a little what if as we take a look at possible playoff scenarios. If you look at 1 through 8 in the Western Conference standings, you have the Spurs, the Thunder, Lakers, Clippers, and then Utah, Denver, and Phoenix fighting it out at the bottom. Your thoughts?
Well, all we can do is deal with what's directly in front of us, and that's kind of the Thunder credo all season long, Kelly. And so the matchups as they stand right now would have San Antonio facing Utah as the Jazz vault Houston and Phoenix for the moment anyway. And then the Thunder, Denver, renewal of their first-round playoff series a year ago. The Lakers taking on Dallas. That's mighty intriguing. Not the Clippers in Memphis in a possible 4 or 5 slugfest, but Grant, the Thunder facing the Nuggets a season ago, so they have some familiarity with one another as playoff opponents. How might that play?
Well, the revenge factor, obviously, for the Denver Nuggets. They would love to have this matchup come to fruition because they want to feel like that they let the Thunder off the hook last year, when I don't think that was the case at all, but they feel like they have a pretty good opportunity the way that they're playing. Their team obviously a little bit different than it was. Adding Danilo Gallinari, he's a very good offensive player. He's going to put some pressure on the Thunder to guard on the perimeter. And I think George Karl would like to see that matchup as well. And I think he feels like with the style that they play, like to junk up the game, that they have an opportunity.
And then in the Eastern Conference, you've got the 1 seed Chicago likely lining up with a team that has really had the bottom fall out, Kelly. The Philadelphia 76ers, they're in tough, I would suspect. The Knicks and the Heat in the 2-7 right now. There'll be a whole lot of fanfare around that. I'm not sure it'll be a real competitive series, but certainly there'll be a lot of propping up of the Knicks' chances in that one. Orlando minus Dwight Howard, it looks like. Apparently he's saying he won't play for Stan Van Gundy ever again, so it looks like he'll be out of the playoffs against Indiana. The Pacers, to me, are the dark horse in the Eastern Conference, by the way. Maybe the most intriguing round 1 matchup when it comes to how it will grind itself through the best of 7. Boston and Atlanta in the 4-5. The Hawks certainly have talent, and they're young and athletic, Grant, and maybe they can wear down the Celtics over legs.
All of that is good palaver. There's a 2-team race in the Eastern Conference. It's Chicago and Miami. I think everybody else is playing for whatever they're playing for just to be in the playoffs. There's no way the Knicks are going to make any noise in the playoffs. They're playing some of their best basketball all season long. They're going to have to get Amari Stoudemire back. I think that's going to put a dent in what they've been trying to do and what they've accomplished so far. I think when you think about Orlando, Dwight Howard, they're not even a threat whatsoever. The Atlanta Hawks are a team that seems to come to mind for me. They have been playing some pretty good basketball as of late, but they have always had the nemesis of the Orlando Magic in their wheelhouse. And so without the Orlando Magic being a prominent team right now without Dwight Howard, they might have a chance. But the Indiana Pacers, on the other hand, they're playing good basketball. They're playing the right kind of basketball. But at the end of the day, it's going to be about the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat.
The day is not ended. Beware the Pacers in round 2. Just a warning shot. Beware the Pacers. They're balanced, top to bottom, very complete team and playing very, very well in Frank Vogel right now.
Already giving us warning shots, Matt. Well, it'll certainly be interesting to see how all of this plays out. It was just a year ago that Oklahoma City made a run to the Western Conference Finals. How do you see that experience helping the Thunder this year, guys?
The fact that they played such different styles in their playoff experience a year ago overcame losing the home court in the second round against Memphis, a team that's so big, Grant, and they survived that, winning in 7. And in Game 7, they really excelled. Russell Westbrook had a triple-double. Kevin Durant had a monster game offensively. Then in the next round, in the Western Finals, facing the best offensive team in the NBA, they spaced the floor well and closed games out in the Dallas Mavericks to get to the NBA Finals. I think those experiences are invaluable going into this specific experience.
Well, I'll take one anecdote from that, and that is playing on the road and being able to win on the road. I think that really helped this young ball club out. You talk about whether or not you have home court advantage throughout the playoffs, whether you have it or you don't. If you have the ability to win on the road, all of that really doesn't matter. This team has shown the ability to win on the road in high-pressure stake situations, and I think that in itself is a big-time experience boost and a confidence boost for this team as they go forward.
I do think playing different styles last year through their playoff run benefits them, regardless of what it is that's thrown at them entering this playoff sequence.
I completely agree. Matt and Grant, always great stuff. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We've heard from the Thunder broadcasters. Now let's hear what Coach Brooks and Nick Collison have to say about the postseason.
I would hope that we continue to improve and going into the playoffs, we're playing our best basketball.
You always know in the back of your mind you're playing for the highest seed possible and trying to get home court and those type of things, so it is very important. But I think we all realize the way to do that is to play well, and so you got to focus on that and getting ready to play each night.
With a young team, you already clinched the playoffs. You know at the end of the day you're going to be the number 1 or 2 seed in the regular season, which really don't mean too much if you're looking at it from a numbers standpoint. But, you know, if you're looking for building good habits, it means a lot. But, you know, you got to just keep being motivated and don't get bored of the process.
Playoff basketball is the most it's exciting time for an NBA player, an NBA team, an NBA coach. It's what we live for, to be in that opportunity. But we're working towards that, to being better in the playoffs.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Hi, my name is Jensen Dyer. I'm from UConn, and I'm your Thunder Junior reporter. And tonight I am taking you on a tour through the game of Thunder versus Kings.
I think service in the community means a lot to our organization. The fans do so much for us and supporting us. The least we can do is let them know that we're here and, we care for them. Just because, we play in the NBA doesn't mean we should change as people. We have an opportunity to tell them that we care and show them that we care. I think that means a lot. So I want to continue to just, try to get back and try to be the best person I can be.
Catch up on the latest news, game previews, community events, and NBA action each week during Thunder Insider, presented by Integris Health. Visit thunder.nba.com for more information.
The Devon Thunder Kids Club, which has over 500 members, offered an opportunity at the beginning of the season for one kid to be a Thunder Junior reporter. Jensen Dyer from UConn wrote a creative one-page essay and won himself a chance to go behind the scenes during a Thunder game night.
Hi, my name is Jensen Dyer. I'm from UConn, and I'm your Thunder Junior reporter. And tonight I am taking you on a tour through the game of Thunder versus Kings. I know you got a journalism degree. What would be the best tip for you to help me and others become one?
One of the things you have to have in this job to be able to do it well is a natural curiosity. You have to be able to tell stories as well as throw out statistics. That's a big, big thing.
I like that tie though, man.
Thanks.
It's pretty hot.
What do you like most about being in broadcasting?
Get to talk to guys like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook on a daily basis. And for me, I think it's important to be able to convey what they do on the floor to our fans.
I like that hat.
Thanks.
Nervous?
Not really.
Oh, I like that confidence. You're the first up.
What's your favorite thing about being a coach?
Favorite thing about being a coach, being able to spend quality time with all of the guys around me at the moment. You believe me?
Yeah.
Really? We'll talk after.
What is your favorite part of attending a game?
Just the excitement, the energy.
How do you get motivated for a game?
You know, I practice before in our locker room.
What happened to my hair? Well, the Thunder came to town and it just kind of grew this way.
What is your favorite exercise?
Large pizzas from Little Caesars. Get loud for Rumble and the Storm Chaser.
What is your favorite exercise?
Score the basket for America's Cousins.
Everybody played well. Defensively, we did a good job of making them miss.
This is what it's like behind the scenes of a Thunder game. This is Jensen Dyer signing off. Go Thunder!
What a great job, Jensen. And for more information on the Devon Thunder Kids Club, visit our website at thunder.nba.com and click on the Fan Zone tab on the main page. Well, the Thunder on the road this week, but before leaving town, a number of players made it out into the community to have a little fun.
They come and travel to your town to make you laugh and clown around. Their own home court, they're never seen, but each night they're the hometown team. G is for Globetrotters. I did JS for Jump Shots, another alphabet book, just to have kids interact with me, while I was reading the book.
So they're all playing basketball, all the boys on the court. She aimed again, and she missed again. One of the boys playing in the next court noticed Allie and started to laugh.
The order visit from the Black Lagoon. I bet that's a little scary. Good choice, good choice. Yeah, everybody that comes in, they're pretty surprised of the way it looks and everything and all the books and it's just a great atmosphere.
It's an opportunity to get a chance, pick up some books, meet us players. So I think they'll definitely keep this as one of their memories.
And look at all the books that are here. I mean, it's just amazing the number of books for the kindergarten all the way up through high school kids. This is an awesome program. It really is.
I think all of them are appreciative to get the books and really have a good time with this. It's a good thing that Thunder does, and it's always fun to come out and do it.
For American Fidelity and the Oklahoma City Thunder, it means a lot because we're giving back to the community and we're giving them an opportunity to not only see basketball players, but see them in a way in which they normally wouldn't see them.
Look up, look up, look up, look up, look up. There we go. These guys can be involved in anything they want to be involved in. Just looking at me and being here with these guys, just want to let them know, man, that anything's possible. And one.
This is an awesome opportunity for my daughter and for the other Chickasaw students to participate in. We know that this was a great surprise to them and their families, and we think this is an experience that they'll never forget. Plus, they're learning skills that they'll use whenever they play in basketball, or it's just a team sport that we know that we want them to learn how to be good team players.
I'm happy I can be out here, man. Basketball, of course, is my favorite thing to do. And being an NBA player, coming to help kids play basketball is something that's always fun.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
How do the Thunder girls pull off those perfect routines on game nights? I'll tell you how. A lot of hard work goes into it behind the scenes. We're going to show you how the Thunder girls train for those routines when we get back here on Thunder Insider.
This is Nick Collison, and you're watching Thunder Insider.
Every week, Mike Steely of the Sports Animal has been taking us inside various areas of the Thunder organization. And this week, Stealing the Mic, Steely shows us it's not always as glamorous as it looks for the Thunder girls. These ladies go through serious workouts to be ready on game night.
The Thunder girls always look extremely glamorous on game nights, but there's a lot of activity that happens behind the scenes to make it all look so easy. And we're talking about an incredibly difficult fitness routine they go throughout at least a couple times a week.
They meet 2 times a week as a team, and we train for 30 minutes. And that's a high-intensity team training, a lot of sprint drills and things like that. But another typical week, each girl comes and meets with me 2 other times individually and does their one-on-one training to work on the areas that they need more development on.
Here you go. Hands up, kick across your body. Go.
That's right. The girls work out for 30 minutes. Now, that might sound easy, but this is 30 minutes of pure intensity, cardio and strength training. It is very tough.
Steve's workouts are so intense. 30 minutes is all you need. I work out with him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I always work out for just 30 minutes. And it's great because I get my full body workout in, and then I'm done for the day.
They're really intense. They're really crazy. They're really good for like a complete total body workout, and we're always doing something unexpected.
It's tough, but you have to learn how to do it, and you have to give it your all, because he will call you out and he will let you know, look, you're not trying your best. Go do this on top of doing this.
They're very hard. I don't think people understand how hard the workouts are. The girls throughout the year, their bodies start to kind of, you never get used to them, but they start to adapt to them, and therefore Steve has to make them even harder. He has us do anything from sprints to weight pushes to broad jumps to, being outside and running sprints in the grass, pushing car tires, tractor tires.
Right here.
Yeah, we work out hard. Thunder Girls, we're strong. See these muscles?
2, 3. Thunder Girls!
Glad to see Steely got in there a little bit with the tire. Those girls certainly work hard, and they look great when they're on the floor. Well, thank you for joining us here at our Oklahoman studio for another edition of Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. We'll see you again next week with plenty more on Thunder basketball and the playoffs. See you then.